Hello everyone, and welcome to another One Piece manga chapter read along, this time for chapter 1168. And I was I feel spoiled, almost, but not really. I asked my mods to turn on the sub only chat because it felt like someone was hinting towards something that happens in the chapter, but I put a stop to it. So at the end of the chapter read along, I will tell you if they were maybe going in that direction or maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. In the live chat, we have King Filter, Tiago, Booty, Modru, Cherry, Funk Hazard, Aziz Moragui. Nice. I like Moragui. Sounds cool. Hachi is here. People never stop spoiling. Jolly D, Joestar, and Mr. Chicken, Vinicius. Cool name too. So Dark Shadow is here, should be here. So yeah, let's see. I haven't opened the chapter yet. I'm reading it on the Shonen Jump app as usual. The last 3 chapters are free, so even if you don't have a sub, you can read the newest chapters. Just a shout out to Shonen Jump app. Not sponsored in any way, of course. Just think it's a very convenient app. I am currently reading, with all my jumping around, this last week, I tried to read Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm up to chapter 15. But I keep getting stuck because something amazing happens and then I feel like, oh, I need to watch the episode. And then I try and make time, but then I don't have time. So then I could have just kept reading. But anyway, so that's all I'm currently reading. I'm trying to read Jujutsu Kaisen up to like chapter 130 before January. So I'll get back to Food Wars and Ichi the Witch later. And Ruri Dragon. I have a lot to catch up with after I read Jujutsu. But yeah, let's open the One Piece chapter. 1168. The next one is coming in 2 weeks. Okay, so the chapter is called The Snows of Elbaph. And we have a reader request. A family of sheep knitting Hachan 6 gloves. Oh, look at his reaction. That is so cute. So he's shoveling snow and the sheep are handing him his gloves. That's too cute. What is that? Oh, and a cup of hot chocolate. Coffee? Coffee. Okay. Oh, Bernard is here too. Welcome, welcome. Here we go. The first page of the only chapter we will have for the next 2 weeks. Okay, wait. I didn't turn the page. Let me just... I need to post my One Piece video. Mike just popped into the chat and said it's ready. So let me just post that really quick. Sorry. I already have the thumbnail ready, so it's not a problem. What was the episode title? Bonnie's Parents' Legacy, right? A Nika Punch. Liberation? What should I call it? Liberation? Nika Punch. Or is that what she said? Liberation or something? Bonnie's Nika Punch. Okay, then I also just want to post corresponding manga chapter read along. There we go. Oh, I need tags. So I'll just do One Piece, Bonnie, Nika, Punch, 1152. Okay. What is Sigma? How, how old are you? I'm just curious. Because I don't even know about these words. And then I hear them. I hear a lot of people are using 6 to 7 now, or 67 or something, and no one can tell me what it means. And I think the kids are just messing with us now. Okay. Sorry for the delay. I'm going to officially turn the page now. Thank you, Mike, for editing. Let me know if the video went up normally and if the title is correct. Now I'm going to turn the page. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're starting at that same year, 15 years ago, around the world. They're saying those giants in the Navy played a crucial role once again. That is so great to hear. I used to think they were scary. Now I wish I could meet one someday. So his goal, his dream, seems to be coming true here. Is there any way to get more shipped here? Folks can't get enough of that Elbaph seafood. Yeah, I bet. Good Elbaph cedar. It's quality stuff. Too bad it's so difficult to ship. Sold! And once our dream of being part of the world government comes true, I think that we should build a cruise ship so that we can travel freely to our fellow nations. So he's making a speech, and it seems to be going really well. Everyone has accepted Elbaph as, more than just a scary nightmare story, but people that they can trade with, people they want to meet. Okay, wait. To the rest of the world, we are just a very curious minority. There are so many different people in so many different countries. They each have cultures worthy of respect, and as we come into contact with them, Elbaph will gain more friends and more wisdom. I can't wait, and everyone is cheering. We're almost there, my countrymen. Our future is bright. Guess the warrior business is dead. I will see it through, Ida. It kind of reminds me, his change. No, it's not really the same. Never mind. Forget I said that. But it is wild to acknowledge the change that this man has had, And the Ida was part of that change, to change his mind and open his eyes. And then we are at the Walrus School. This is thanks to you, Soul. A lot more healthy and kids swinging swords. I don't understand that. A lot more healthy and kids swinging swords. You know what this reminds me of? And I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll keep it vague. But it reminds me of a certain character in Jujutsu Kaisen that has the power to kill corrupt people in the world. But he says he won't do that because they will just be replaced with someone else that is corrupt. So rather than just kill who he doesn't like or who he disagrees with, but these are truly horrible people, he instead chose to go into education to change things from the ground up, with the next generation. So I really, really respect people who acknowledge the importance of education when it comes to building a new future for a country or a group of people. Like, that's really where it starts, because it's very difficult to change adults' minds sometimes in an understandable way. Like, if you have had the giants wage war on little villages, like, it would be really difficult to change those adults' minds even when it comes to innocent giants, because they have that fear in their hearts or that, warped perception. So starting with education to change both sides, all sides, that's usually a good way to go, I think. I want to say it's the most sustainable long-term solution. Don't it scare you? Don't it scare ya thinking about what you're losing, Harold? I no longer think of military might as our national strength. Ida taught me everything I know. The fact that I met her is my lifelong treasure. Aww. I have to respect that, because it would be a little bit scary to me. Like them losing something that you were counting on for so long. And it is a scary world out there, so to me it would be scary to lose military power if I was, trying to introduce my people to a world that has a lot of bad things in it. But I can also understand it. Hey, oh, and I mean, they still have people in the Navy fighting, so it's not like they're... I wanted to make a joke. I wanted to say it's not like they became hippies. But that is so rude. I'm so sorry. It was just a joke. Okay, hey, Harold, you've really changed. When I first came here, I was terrified of all the civil wars. But you've changed this country a little bit by a little bit. Children are studying hard, bright and cheerful laughter. It's like a different country completely. Old practices, strange customs, we ought to throw out all of the bad habits of our warriors' past. Really? But I like warriors' pride. I think it's cool. You ought to treasure your culture. See, that's what I was trying to say. Like, there's a balance. Like, you can learn and grow, but you should never be like ashamed of your past, or you can't... Everything has a little bit of good in it, or like a silver lining. Even something like being these vicious warriors, there was a strength in that too. A silver lining. I mean, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, Oh, I need to remember to say something. Booty, at the end of the video, remind me to say something about last week, please. You ought to treasure your culture. Well, what about the fact that you and I weren't allowed to marry? I've never gotten over that. You told them you wanted to make me your wife, didn't you? That is so sweet of you. You're my big sweetie. What about Loki? He'll be Hydrogen's little brother. How's that? To me, that's what he's always been. Just hearing that from you will keep me fed for months. But really, I don't mind. You're everyone's King Harold, not just mine. We're almost there, aren't we? That's right, Ida. Very soon, we'll be connected to the rest of the world, and our world will grow to be millions of times larger than before. Then we'll do what we used to do, and we can go traveling together. I have a bad feeling about that. I mean, well, we know what happens next, sort of, based on tidbits we've heard. That sounds fantastic. I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to happen on the same page. That sounds fantastic. I can't wait. Neither can I. And then her hand just droops. Oh. Oh. And Hydrogen could mourn her, and she's smiling, even though she's still smiling. And the poor Loki had to mourn by himself in jail. That's not what Ida would have wanted. 14 years ago, Sacred Marie-Joie, Shanks has gone missing? Yes. And once his current mission was complete, he was on track to be made a full-fledged knight. As his backup, this means you have a golden opportunity. Will you take it? Of course! I want to join the Knights of God. It means that Elbaph will be allowed to join the world government. Congratulations. The Great One trusts you. What a long haul it's been. And now you will be known as the king who changed Elbaph's history forever. Actually, on the day that Elbaph is entered into the world government, I plan to abdicate the throne. Someone younger and purer deserves to be our new king. That is for Mu to decide. Why is someone sitting on the empty throne? Come closer. I have been watching thee, Harold. I can't imagine what this thing's voice must sound like. We don't know, right? We know that Shanks' brother has his voice is cast, but we don't know about Mu. I'm trying to imagine what it could sound like. I don't think it has spoken in the anime. I don't remember. Wait, has it? We've heard the enigmatic oh, please don't give me the Mickey Mouse voice. Now I have a Mickey Mouse voice in my head. No, don't say. Oh God, now I'm going to imagine a Mickey Mouse voice as this thing's voice. No. I think we've heard Emu's voice, but maybe a distorted version. Ooh, if we've heard it before, please remind me which episode if you can, and then we can maybe go take a listen really quickly, like a brief listen. Okay, so Harold sees something sitting on the empty throne, and it looks down on Harold saying, "Come closer. I've been watching thee." And then there's like a sound effect, I don't know. And then there is screaming, and the castle seems to expand from force, shock, screams. This strength, it's rippling through me. It's almost frightening. He got the symbol. Oh no. Fuck you, dude, you're joining a cult. How you don't see this? And now he is immortal. It chills the spine. He is more than a monster at this point. He's a weapon. Now, at long last, thou art an undying knight in service to Mu. Undying? It still doesn't feel real. Thou wilt create an abyss on Elbaph. That will be thy bond to us. An abyss? Like in Genshin? Like, we're gonna have to fight on floors with different monsters every month? What abyss? You mean a hole in the ground that falls forever? What do you mean an abyss? And when thou hast completed thy final duty after that, ... Let's have a toast! Thy wish will be granted. Elbaph will be welcomed among the world government's member nations. Jeez, that you have to jump through this many hoops to be recognized as an existing country when you are an existing country. Like, membership should be like, I don't know, easier than this. Let's have a toast. Welcome home, King Harold. Oh no. Here it happens. Orust Castle. That's where it happened, guys. I'm not ready to see it, but I'm also really curious to know. So, what did you just say? O great Emu? Use thy entire country to form an army of warriors. Literally what he was trying to get away from. And you paid in blood. You subscribed for lifelong to this bullshit. Thou wilt build a giant fleet to rival the navy and act for the benefit of the world. That is thy... Wait, no, stop! I have been doing all of this to help Elbaph escape the cycle of fighting. Of course, I have always intended to allow those who wish to enlist in the navy to do so, but not like this. Who is His Majesty talking to in there? Thou saidst history would be atoned for. Thou saidst thou would be a slave. Yes, but only myself. You made a deal with the devil. History is not so light that it can be shouldered by thee alone. Do not speak back. Thou canst disobey Mu. Those who have accepted the Depth's covenant are given immortality and strength, but must obey orders in return. Think what thou wilt. I will have my way. Ow, that hurts my throat. I'm sorry, but mad respect to people who do voices that requires that kind of sound or any kind of, because that hurts. I can't stop. I'm being controlled, and Elbaph with me. There was never any intent to bring us into the circle of the world. Damn you, Emu. Guards, to arms! Were you planning to make the warriors of Elbaph your slaves? What is it, Your Majesty? Is someone in there? Bring chains. Tie me to this pillar. Huh? Act quickly. Call Chief Jarul and my sons. I'm pretty sure Hydrogen is out at sea. And Prince Loki is still in his cell for that thing he did. I cannot resist. What's the matter, Your Majesty? Just release him. Oh, fuck. So he's going to help his dad, and then everyone's going to blame him. Of course. Of freaking course. You're freed, Loki. Report to Orust Castle immediately. The king calls for you. Urgently? Just a moment. What could it be? But now, let us return to the story. What? Return to the story just when it was getting... Well, it was always good, but it was getting even gooder. On this day, there was a terrible massacre inside the castle, and the most beloved ruler in the history of Elbaph, wise King Harold, perished. Wow, that's some bullshit. Two weeks. Now let's return to the story. You don't mean now. You mean 2 weeks from now. It's not fair. We had such a... Remember last week how good we felt in the episode, in the chapter, and then they gave us a high just to give us a low. The story that Loki was originally telling. Oh. So we're returning to the beginning of the story of the flashback. Oh. Imagine if you get punished for not calling Emu Mu. Everyone that serves under Emu calls Emu the Great One. I could see Emu being that petty. So before I look up the episode where Emu speaks, I wanted to quickly mention something from last week. I don't remember exactly, so I'm just gonna read the messages that I realized after the stream what had happened. Okay, so I wasn't spoiled. Someone in today's stream, at the beginning of my stream today, first of all, someone said something negative about Shanks. And then I thought maybe something happened in the chapter, because why were they talking about Shanks? It seemed so... Why were they wanted to throw Shanks with a dodgeball or something, and I was feeling like I'd rather not risk it, because the chapter came out and, you know, people love spoiling. So I just, but it wasn't a spoiler because Shanks was just barely mentioned in the chapter, so it's fine. But let me just see. Okay. I just realized something. So this was last weekend at 3 a.m. I realized this. Last Sunday after reading the chapter. I finished it maybe around midnight. And then at 3 a.m. I realized. And this is what I typed to Booty, my mod. I said, I might be wrong, but this is just something to look out for. Depending on who it was, because I think it was a regular. Well, maybe it was more than one person. When the shadow popped up, like I was reading the chapter and a shadow popped up. And someone said, I read it and I thought it was just their theory. So someone said this, but they had already finished the chapter. So I thought maybe we weren't going to find out who the shadow was, but it looked like Shanks, but I didn't think that Shanks would be there. So I thought it was Shanks' brother. So someone else in the chat, before I said anything, said it was Shanks' brother. But then someone else said, no, it's not Shanks' brother. So they were like, because then we find out in the chapter that it was actually Shanks. And I know that I try and avoid the chat, but you guys also know that I don't always avoid the chat. Like sometimes something catches my eye. So people were spoiling. There were many people. I don't think you read my message when you saw Shanks a couple of pages later, but I said you guys were so close to ruin the reaction when I actually found out it wasn't Shanks' brother, but it was Shanks himself. Because someone in the chat, when the shadow was on the page, they were saying, ooh, is that Shamrock? And then someone was like, no. And I'm like, why not just wait for me to like turn the page and find out first before we talk about it? So anyway, just be really, really, really careful about that. Obviously, I try and avoid the chat until the end, but just out of consideration, wait for the future, because yeah. I don't think they tried to spoil you today, but speaking of spoilers, last week was worse. Yes, that's what I wanted to talk about. If anything, Shanks should be praised for dodging the bullet on Emu's tier 3 subscription. So you guys said which chapter? It was episode 1119, okay? So that is where we heard Emu's voice. No, we 100% know. Okay, we 99.9% know, to be fair. Don't try and defend it. It was unnecessary to do when a few pages later it was revealed, technically, that Shanks was actually there. So 99.9% chance it is him. So don't try and come up for it. Just say, cool, next time we'll wait until you actually read the pages and see for yourself. Because if you're going to defend that kind of bullshit, I'm going to be wary of you. As someone who will spoil and then go, to be fair, like, no, just wait. Just give it until the end of the chapter. But to be fair, people are not smart enough to do that. So I should really be the smart one and just close the chat in the future. And then I will, if I really want to read someone's messages, I could bring the watch party chat back. And then only patrons can, if they want to say something, they can say something. But the problem is you're a patron. And I'm wary of you because you're like, well, to be fair. So honestly, I should just close all chats, read the chapter, and then at the end we can talk about it. Because people don't have sense. To give someone a little bit of patience, a little bit of time to get there themselves. Anyway. 1119. So I have to be really, really, really careful here of not spoilers, copyright. So I'm not gonna play much. It was here he was saving, where do you think more or less time-wise? I can't skip through the whole episode. Okay, wait, here, probably here. English, no thank you. Although I do want to hear the difference between what they chose to do for Emu's voice in English versus Japanese. That would be really cool. Oh, that is creepy. That's a lot of talking, actually. Okay, so we've definitely had actually quite a few lines in the anime already, but it's very distorted. But it feels like it could be a distorted woman's voice, right? It feels like they're almost not trying to hide that part too hard. But we don't know. No, I know. I'm not playing everything for copyright reasons. I'm saying there were more than a few lines. There's actually a lot, but I'm not going to play them all. I just want to hear the voice. Cherry says, another great but heartbreaking chapter because of Harold and Ida, but also because of Loki, who tried to help but was accused all these years and is treated like a criminal. Not just now, but even before. Like, it just keeps getting worse for the boy. I'm excited to get back to the story. I miss Luffy and the others. Also, I think it's a good idea to close the chat. People are too excited. Because the chapter is still fresh, yeah. There's so many different people. You have the people who read the chapter on Tuesday, who have already come up with theories, and they're overexcited to share them. So that ends up being like a little bit of a bad experience. But fine. Then you have people who read the chapter at the same time or on the same day, and then they're overexcited about the reveal, like Shanks being there. So it's like, no matter what I do, technically, I can never have a first-time reader experience unless I start reading on Tuesdays. But I'm never going to read leaks. Never, ever, ever. So I have to be the smart one and just close the chat until at least the end of the chapter. I will have to keep maybe a DM open with a mod, or maybe my mod chat, because if the stream goes down or something, I need to know about it. So many people wait for read-on hints for a chapter. Huh? Okay, so let's hear this voice one more time. The name Emu sounds familiar. Man, I need to rewatch this whole chapter just to hear, because this is actually wild. Ew, it's so creepy. Imagine hearing that voice in your head against your own will. Because you're basically his slave, of its slave, right? And no one else could hear that voice talking to Harold except himself in his head. And it's not like, oh, hearing the voice of the what does Luffy hear when the Iron Giant was speaking? The voice of all things. It's not like the voice of all things. It's probably not very soothing. It's probably like whistling to a Namekian in your ears. Imagine that. I don't like to talk to those kinds of people because I feel like I'm with children. Going, okay, wait. Let me see first. Yes, it's literally like being a teacher to a toddler, to a class of toddlers. Like, you can't even get mad at them because they don't know what they're doing. But it's frustrating because they're adults. But it's fine. Okay, I also want to read people's comments in the One Piece manga chat. So I think it starts a bit higher, 1168. Okay, here. So Tiago said, okay, now I'm confused. I'm thinking Harold will order his available soldiers to stab him, which I originally thought played a part in his death. But now he should be immortal. I'm backing off on the idea the soldiers were ever demonized around Harold's death. Oh, that's true. But do you think Imu can revoke the immortality? Because I would assume, since he's fighting back, and he wants himself to be tied to a pillar and stuff, I'm thinking that Imu might have revoked the immortality and then he was killed. I don't know. And then Loki was blamed for it. He did it with one of the elders at Egghead. Ah, yes, we literally saw him getting old, right? Like really, really like, oh, right. So he's probably going to take away the immortality. Maybe even be the one who kills him and Loki is just there with a weapon in his hand. So either Harold at some point took back control and killed himself, another Haki user dealt the killing blow, or Imu revoked the Abyss Covenant. I'm going with Imu evoked the Abyss Covenant. Because why would you... Yeah. At this point, it leaves me wondering how Loki would have been accused. Because he was there. That's all he needs to do to be accused of something. Like, they already have in their brain... Everyone's convinced that he's a criminal. So he was just in the vicinity and then he got blamed because no one else could hear the voice of Imu. So I don't know what Harold must have been saying though, but Jarul should have been able to defend Loki from. Granted. Oh, but he got a knock in his head, right? So he doesn't remember what happened. He might have been the only one that saw. Throwing away a valuable soldier is one thing. But as much of a valuable soldier, he could have been a liability, a huge liability. If anyone killed him that wasn't Imu, it's not going to be Loki. I can't imagine. Remember, even Roger and Garp were relieved from having been the ones who killed Chibik. Do you really think Oda's going to write Loki as the killer for whatever reason? It's not impossible, but I don't see it happening. Funk Hazard says, I think Loki did a Roger Garp to kill him, but the revoking theory sounds cool too. I don't know. If Oda didn't even allow Roger and Garp to be the ones who took Chebek's life after he begged them to. Why would Oda allow, literally, like in the writing, in the unfolding of the story, to have a Loki who is technically like 21 years old to kill his own father? A patricide in One Piece. It's still a shonen, right? Not a seinen. Some people think Loki will join Blackbeard because he looked up to Chebek. And yeah, because Blackbeard is so much like his dad. That would be way too predictable by Oda's standards. Like, oh, he wanted to join Chebek, so now he joined the sun. Ooh, what good writing. No. I can't see that unfolding, so... Oh, Kiji joining Blackbeard was a surprise. It was a shock. It was, that was confusing. I'm still confused. But that's good writing because we don't know his motivations and this and that. Loki going from wanting to join Chebek to wanting to join Blackbeard, it just seems so... Oh, another one? Okay. But I don't see it happening. I don't see royals leaving their country. Although Loki has Hydrogen, so Hydrogen could be the one who ends up staying for Elbaph, and Loki could still leave. But royals just never join pirates. Vivi didn't join. There was someone else that didn't join. I don't know if... I would love Loki to join, but... Luffy, not Blackbeard. I need more info. Part of me is looking at Jarul suspiciously again, but pretty sure he's just got brain damage with memory loss. Yeah, he doesn't seem like a very competent leader, which is a bit... It raises questions. This is from chapter 1152. So everyone was trying to kill him. Harold, what the hell are you doing? Oh, look at the snot from his nose. Shame, he's like a kid. My bit. Loki goes in while everyone is trying to kill Harold, and he free him. He eventually understands what is happening. Harold kills all his men, but Loki has enough powerful hockey to kill him anyway. Jarul likely is the key to give Loki the chance for the final blow, but the sword in his brain has him really confused of what just happened. Probably also a good opportunity to show how Loki gets his mystery devil fruit before he gets locked up and exiled, since there has been no indication of that so far. Yeah, even Cherry brought up Elbaph has Hydrogen, and Hydrogen already had his chance to travel when he was, looking for a doctor for his mom. He was traveling the world. So it's his turn to stay at home and rule, and then Loki can go out and about. Rest in peace to another One Piece mother who didn't deserve to die. As morbid as it sounds, Oda is good at killing mothers. The death scene still tug at my heart, even though Oda has been doing this for years. With the better explanation of the contracts, we now understand that Shanks didn't get any powers while as his time as a Holy Knight. It still does make me question Gunko. Her contract abilities seems more like a Gorosei with the Emu possession, but she holds the title of Holy Knight. Saw some talk on Twitter about how Shanks was going to tell Harold about the Holy Knight contracts, and that it was dangerous, which does seem likely now. Shanks was going to tell Harold, but it's clear that the giants really regret killing Harold. Years later, they're still trying to recruit giants, and Odo was sly for having Loki deny the Holy Knight's request. And then say who in their right mind would say yes to that, knowing that his father did. Also, while Harold is doing this to atone for his sins and the sins of previous giants, it's pretty sickening to see Emu be the one to call him out for that, as if this whole world isn't the result of Emu. Yeah, but he doesn't have a problem with how the world is. He's trying to keep the world as it is. Jolly D. Joestar says, as time goes on, I think Loki lied about eating the devil fruit. But what about the chains? You're saying he's pretending to be affected by the chains? I think it was more than just Loki. Shanks or Shamrock had to get involved for Loki to call Shanks a coward. Wait, when did he say that? I can see Loki taking the blame for the death of his father rather than to admit the truth. And Jarul doesn't remember because of the sword in his head. How would that even work? Chandler is suddenly talking to something me and Cherry were just saying offhandedly. Chandler is now having a whole conversation, which we've already had before. We've had discussions about devil fruit users that can shrink him and stuff. Or we were even theorizing about devil fruits. We don't know what his devil fruit power is, and we were looking for mythical devil fruits where he could control his own size or something like that. I'm warming up more to the brain damage thing. As much as I'm walking around with the sword sticking out, it's still a bloody miracle. A bigger miracle than even Shiki's chicken head. Shiki? I'm wondering if someone is going to pull it out and Jarul suddenly remembers. Maybe Chopper will have something to do with that. People survived lobotomies. I'm sure a giant can survive a sword in the head. I mean, they didn't survive it nicely, necessarily. Just build a second ship to act as Loki's exclusive ship chair, like Mihawk did. Oh, right. Shiki is the one that got a steering wheel jammed in his head. The lion. Shiki the lion. Yeah. I wonder why Emu wants to kill Jarul. She gave order to evil Brogy, and because he has information, even if he doesn't currently remember it. That is why I think Emu would kill Harold, because as much of a valuable weapon as he is an even bigger liability, or he could be, you know? But I'm so sad. We won't have a chapter for 2 weeks. What does this mean? Like, he has one of his swords, but he is like half his size. So like, size doesn't really matter. Something will happen. Is that what it means? Jolly D. Joestar says, Chapter 1131 is where Loki calls Shanks a coward. 1131. Page 8. So Luffy is saying, this takes me back. So if you don't do as I say, they may not take kindly to it. Oh, the giant animals. Those other little ones are humans who chose to do battle with Elbaph. They wear stinking robes to turn away the ravenous beasts, but they only delay the inevitable. They are corpses already. Now that's really uncalled for, sir. Who the hell are these people? Who is this guy? Can we rob him blind? Maybe he's got something. We don't want to get knocked unconscious like the last time. I mean, around here, you don't expect to run into red-haired Shanks, of all people. Huh? Did you just... Who is that guy? Wait. Red-haired Shanks. Where does he say coward? Did you just say Shanks? We did, but this is really invalidating everything we thought we knew. I'm so confused. Out of context, none of this makes sense. This is when Luffy met Loki. What? Wait a second. Who is that pipsqueak? Did Shanks really come here? You know, red hair? If you mean that coward of a pirate. He certainly did. Ah, and then Luffy wants to punch him. I think he said coward of a pirate. This is my guess. Like, in a banter way. Like, he didn't mean it. But then Luffy took him very seriously and he suddenly, like, changed. He's like, whoa, wait. I wonder if he has, like, a banter with Shanks, or does he actually think Shanks is some kind of coward? Oh, he says, hey, wait, take it easy. I was only joking. Don't say that, even as a joke. I'm helpless here. I can't defend myself. The instant I get these chains off, I'm gonna kill him. Then you better not make me mad. Next time you say something like that, I'll embed you into that tree. And why was Shanks here? Why did he come to see you? That couldn't have been why he was here. Is he still in Elbaph? You won't be getting those answers for nothing. Wait, is he really talking about Shanks, or is he talking about the guy who looks like Shanks? But yeah, he wasn't being serious. I think he wanted to team up with Shanks to do something chaotic, but Shanks said no and tied him up. And then he just called him like a... Nah, he's a coward. He's too afraid to do something that great, like a joke. Okay, let me quickly roll if I can. But yeah, as good as today's chapter was, I almost wish... I know we talked about this last time, but I wouldn't mind one chapter of One Piece per month, and then it's like 3 chapters rolled into one. I'm not gonna lie. It's just so difficult to have so little to go off of. I want more at a time so that there's more to think about, you know? More to piece together, even if I have to wait longer. After killing Harold, Loki was rampaging in the sea, and Shanks is the one who stopped him. Oh, maybe he wanted you right then. Someone said, maybe... Funk Hazard says, I think he wanted to team up with Shanks and do something chaotic. Wait. Maybe Aziz said, maybe Loki wants to go to Marijoa and Shanks stopped him because he would die. Because you can't just attack Marijoa by yourself, even if you're Loki. Hi, Dave. That's a cool theory, and that's why he called him a coward, just because he didn't want to, you know, storm into Marijoa. But the thing is, we have seen, I think Chibik, his character plays a very, very important role in the story to show us that you don't just spearhead changing the world. You don't just rush in and, quickly gather up a bunch of strong people and you can't just attack the government and think you're going to come out of it alive. Does that make sense? Because I think a lot of people, because of the crazy powers in One Piece, a lot of people might say, why didn't this person or that person just kill them and just, rush Marijoa and do this and do that? But we've now seen firsthand how quickly things can go wrong, how chaotic a fight like that can be. I wonder how long Loki was tied up for, since Marijoa is on fire and chaos at this minute. Oh, right. Oh my god, it's been so long since... Because I remember Emu came to Elbaph so that things could get sorted out so that they could return. Oh, right. Didn't Shamrock already return for that reason? It doesn't make sense, but our MC is just someone like that. No, he's not. He doesn't want to save the world. So he's not running into Marijoa and the thing is, the most important thing about Luffy is that he has his team. Chebek and his people were not really that united in a common goal. They just had like aligning things that they were they weren't as cemented as a crew as Luffy was. And Luffy says, in Arlong Park, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to navigate. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. He needs his team. He relies on his team. He won't just spearhead an attack because he wants to save the world or something. Because he's not a hero. He will, we've seen how he fights for his friends in various situations. But we've also seen, like, when he wanted to save Nami, he wanted medicine for Nami. Remember what he learned from Vivi. There was that scene on the ship and he was shouting at the people to like let them dock or something, and Vivi said, you have to show some respect. You can't just do things this way. And he learned from her. I don't know why we're comparing Blackbeard and Luffy now. Are you talking about Chebek? Does Blackbeard want to be king of the world like his dad? But anyway, I don't know what you mean by saying our MC is someone just like that. Because I don't think that Chebek and Luffy have at all the same... Oh, is that what you meant? Like, Luffy wants to be king of the pirates only because, in his mind, that is the freest person in the world. Chebek, and I don't know, remind me what Blackbeard wants. Do they both want to be king of the world? And that's just a different emu. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. There's still way too much that we don't know. So anyway, I think I don't want to ramble on for too long with not enough information. I do at some point, I really need to consider reading important SBSs. At some point, I would love to read all the SBSs, but I feel like there's a lot of information that I'm missing out on because I haven't read all the SBSs. Saturn asked Olga and Katarina what Blackbeard was after, and they responded, the world. All right, yeah. So maybe they have the same goal. They want to take over the world. The pinky, and the brain. We'll have to see, yeah. But whatever the world is, it's vague. It could be exactly what the Chibek wanted, which was to be king of the world, or maybe it's something called the world, or it's like some symbolic meaning behind it. I don't know. Wano, Egghead, SBS is very important. Yeah, I need to maybe where can I read SBSs specifically from Wano, for example? Actually, I do have all the manga, so I could probably find them. What chapter does Wano start? There's also the secret treasure that Doflamingo wanted, the immortality to claim. Eh. Wasn't that just Law's fruit, the ope ope, so that he could keep transplanting his heart or something? No, I have the manga. I just need to know which chapter does Wano begin? 909. Okay, give me a second. Oh wait, I need the volume. I don't need the chapter number. I do need the wait, here, New World, 101. Oh wait. Is it volume 94? Aziz. That's why I said it might be a symbolic world, like something named the world, not the same as Chibik. Most likely, that would be something that Oda would do. It's not he wouldn't just want the same thing as his dad. It's not impossible, but it's more likely it's something symbolic. Apparently, snails won't travel over their own trails because they hate the sliminess of it. What gives? 90? Oh, I got 94. Wait. I took this one because it says New World and Wano. But this probably has 2 volumes of New World and 1 volume of Wano. The last SBS of 90. Wait, what? Okay. Volume 90. Oh my lord. Wait, I need episode. Okay, here. Contents. Volume 8 now. I made a little drawing song. Dum da dum dum da da dum da da. Once there was a little pond of water. A ball fell in and splashed a lot. Or shock. Maybe it's a downcast eye. And now it has begun to cry. Perhaps it's dripping like a candle. Hot wax. Oops, we've had many a scandal. We've had a company scandal. Fat stacks. We're sorry for our criminality and hope you accept our apology. What the hell? What does this mean? Did something happen? Was that his way of saying sorry? Okay, wait, I need to get 895. Do you guys want to give me the chapter number rather than the chapter 909. The Lost SPS of volume 90. 909. Okay, so that's where I need to start reading from. Let me read from 907, because there's an SPS over here. In chapter 847, Perospero called Nami his little candy when she was covered in syrup. Does that mean he licked her? I can't do anything until I find out the answer. Please draw Perospero licking Nami. Please. Woman who wants to be an author. The hell am I... Okay, no. I was like, what perverted old man sent this request? And it's a girl. Why are the dirty jokes so dirty this time? The SBS is meant to be a place for a wholesome author and a wholesome boys and girls to interact. Would you mind not tarnishing its good name? That is such an Oda response. Because instead of ignoring it, he includes the SBS just to call it out. And I like it because it shows that us girls can too be very perverted. Odachi, I just got the best idea. You know how fugu is a very delicious fish, but it's extremely poisonous. Well, as long as you have reiju to suck out the poison, you get both a tasty meal and, is that two birds with one stone? Totally pure 25-year-old. Oh, I see. Well, I hope you eat the fugu, get poisoned, and find out that the Reiju is busy and she can't show up to help you. You freak! Don't worry. Fugu prepared at the restaurant is safe. You freak! And there is Reiju. Down the hatch. Congratulations! Gabrielle got a key for Alice Synthesis 30. When I hear the words pirate, 40 years ago, and Garp, I can't help but be put in mind of Shaki. Is there any connection between Shaki and this mysterious rocks? Oof. Why would you remember something that happened 40 volumes ago? I have no idea what you mean. So funny. Okay, so next up is chapter 908. So I'm just going through some of the, this is what happens in 908. Look what's being done to our comrade, to our kind-hearted Kuma. No, we're not getting caught. We either succeed or we die. Aww, Sabo. Sabo greatness. Okay, so this is the reverie. And then at the end, this is distracting me a little bit. Let me close it for now. SBS Question Corner. Odachi, since we've seen Luffy and Ace at ages 40 and 60, please do Sabo. Okay, I'll draw it. But just to be clear, even I don't know the future of the series. So, age 40. Age 60. This is Sabo. Oh my lord, wait a minute. Who the hell? In a different future. Oh my lord, look at that. Look at evil Sabo. Everyone's below no bit. What? Oh, that is if he was a baddie. Everyone below nobility is trash. Who's this? Oh, wait! 40 and 60 in one future and 40 and 60 in a different future. He's good for the money. Just pour me one little drink. Do you know Luffy? He's my brother. Oh, that's rough. He looks rough in this future right here. Also, I received some questions from Machaman, Atsugon, and Momota about various members of the Big Mom Pirates, like what are their names and how old are they? So I'll answer them in one go. So we have Basquart, the 13th son, 42, Noisette, the 15th son, 41, Saint Mark, 22nd son, 34, Daqua, 24th son, Fructose, 28th son, Mukuru, 25th daughter. I have 2 keys for Mukuru, I think. Anglaise, Dolce, Draghi, and Anana, the 39th daughter. She's 8 years old. Big Mom still has a daughter of 8, so she's still... I wonder what's her youngest kid. Is it the 8-year-old? How old is Big Mom? Like 60... 6,500? 6,450? Okay, so then we have chapter 909. Oh, wow. Look at this chapter. Orobi. Wow. Ronin Zorojuro. Ah, my king. Damn. Oh, I wish I was reading the manga at this point, man. Reading it like this is a completely different experience. Like, reading it on the phone is fine, but man, seeing it like this is like, whoa. The rule. Sorry. Okay, here we have another SBS. Hello, Mr. Oda. I have a question. Charlotte Mondor and Charlotte Opera's Devil Fruit titles were never actually unveiled, were they? Can you tell us what they are? Mondor is the bookkeeper because he has the book fruit. He can turn living things into living samples, use books to fly in the air and pull people into the stories within the books. It's rich enough variety of powers that he could be the villain of his own story arc. True that. Opera has the cream fruit. He's a very tricky enemy who controls the cream his body creates and utilizes sweetness as a novel attack concept. Questions for the SBS. What are the hobbies of Smoker, Tashigi, and Lady Hina? Smoker likes pottery and the casinos. Tashigi likes reading books about swords and paper cutting art. And Hina likes horseback riding and clubbing. Like clubbing baby seals? Or I cannot imagine Hina in a club though. I love Crocodile, Mihawk, and Doflamingo. Are they going to be bachelors forever without having descendants? What would their children look like? I wonder if any of them have been married. I don't know if they have kids or not, but here's how I imagine that going. For your entertainment, see you in the next volume. I have carried out my homework assignment, father. That is Smoker's son. What do you want, rabbit? That is Mihawk's daughter. And can I have more? Papa, they took my allowance. That is so funny. I have carried out my homework assignment, Father. Papa, they took my allowance. Okay, the last chapter is called Onward to Wano. I'm trying to avoid the stories, but I also kind of want to see them. That's another thing I need to catch up with. Maybe for the next 2 weeks, I need to figure out some time or ask some... Wait, there's no SBS? Oh, there's no SBS at the end. Maybe someone can help me to figure out what cover stories I need to read, what SBS... But SBS says I might as well just start from here. Well, the next one. We have Black Clover, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball. That time I got reincarnated as Yamcha. That's so funny. Junie Tyson, Zodiac War. Never heard about that. Ruby, even. Yeah, cover stories. I haven't read all the cover stories. I have some more time. Do you want to read more? It's Lost Hour, right? I need to vote in 1 hour and 2 minutes. Do you guys want to see a really, really cute picture of my my goddaughter? I almost said granddaughter, but I mean goddaughter. Aww. Oh, I miss her so much. Look at her little face. I just want to squeeze her cheeks. But she's so big now. She's turning 2. In a bit more than a month. And there she was how old? Wait. She was 1 month old. A few days more than 1 month. She was looking at me because I was holding her. She was like, oh, you got candy? No, I'm joking. She couldn't eat candy. She was like 40 days old. I just imagine in her head that's what she must be thinking because she's got that face. Oh. I miss her. Okay, let me roll since I have rolls and I have a claim, and then we can read some more SBSs. Come on, One Piece key and a One Piece video. Jinbei, Jinbei, Jinbei. You know what I want? Ice water. Hanku! Wait, let me just call him. Hanku! Answer your phone!
Your call has been forwarded to...
Yeah?
I am calling you to avoid screaming.
Okay.
Keep your phone with you.
It's it's on charge, but I'm going upstairs now.
Okay, did you log into Genshin? So can you log into Genshin?
Okay.
Did you log into Genshin yesterday?
Don't you normally play a game?
No. Did you log into Genshin yesterday?
Yesterday? I can't even remember.
No, so you didn't. So I lost my primos.
Okay, I'm gonna log in now for you.
Please put a daily reminder for yourself. I will remind you, Booty will remind you, and your phone needs to remind you, because otherwise I don't want to lose my primos. You will feel the wrath.
Listen, I think it's gonna need an update on. Okay, maybe not.
No, it will need an update. Or did it auto-update?
Maybe it kept it up to date on the PlayStation.
Yeah, well, you will see about that.
Yeah.
Okay, but first, can you bring me some iced water, please?
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
I know you must have... I think I saw you tag him yesterday. But like I said, I will remind you, you will remind him, and his phone needs to remind him. Otherwise, if you don't tell Hanku to do something 3 times, he won't do it. Unless it's something to do with golf. Or unless I tell him, you want to play golf this weekend unless you do this. And then he will make sure to do it. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to volume 94, and we're just going to skip through and read some SBSs until I get tired. Okay. Wow. Sorry. Chapter 943. Robin is looking like a queen. As per usual. Oh, this is one of my favorite moments in One Piece. If this is not hell, then what is? Tell me, Zorojuro. To think you've been living in my Wano without my permission, you insolent, wretched hedgehog. And Zoro's face. Thank you, Hanku, Mr. Unless it has anything to do with golf, you won't remember to do it. Please, Toko, come back. Orochi will figure it out. That was a difficult chapter. Law's future wife. Why? Did Law even speak to her once? Oh, you mean Robin. Sorry, I thought you meant... Odin's daughter. That's hilarious. I was like, did they even talk like one time? The delivery of fan mail will always call Oda. You rang? Yeah, that's Zoro's. I agree. I'm starting the SBS. Normal is best. Whoa, it's so normal. You can't get more normal. I wasn't expecting this. Odachi, you are not supposed to tie breast bands around your head as a disguise. Takataka. Huh? Oh, come now. Wahaha. You joker, you. Wahaha. I hear police sirens. What is that? Oh dear, not your favorite? On the contrary, I love it. I have a very important... Okay, so I don't understand what's going on there, but... Yeah. I have a very important announcement. Oda-sensei, on page 23 of volume 87, isn't Sanji kicking Big Mom? What happened to the Sanji who wouldn't kick a woman? Actually, I got several letters pointing this out. You're wrong. In that scene, Big Mom is throwing a punch at Reiju and Luffy, and Sanji are trying to block it. But how can you stop a punch from Big Mom just by standing there? You can't. So he had to kick just to neutralize the force of her fist. That's a defensive act and not kicking a woman. Sanji's ironclad oath has not been broken. I can think of a few defensive things he could have done to Khalifa in order to get to Robin faster, but he didn't do those because of his oath. But fine. I just have one thing to say to Sanji. If it's a mixed bath already, you don't need to use your stealth function. Well, Sanji, did you hear that? Don't you know that it's not acceptable to ogle a naked woman just because the bath happens to be mixed use? But if I go invisible, I can ogle all I... Stop right there, Sanji. Peeping at women is a crime, young boys. Come on, it's SBS time. Hancock blushing after putting a straw hat on a young monkey, wearing a Luffy t-shirt. By Onamchur. Thinking of her beloved. I really hope that Boa being in love with Luffy is like that other woman being in love with Roger. What was her name again? Whoa, cool. Is this for which movie was this again? Or which... Whoa. Gloriosa, yeah. I'm sorry, but I don't know if Luffy will ever end up with anyone. Probably not. But I don't want it to be Boa. I don't want there to even be a slight... Mosshead knows that beautiful babe, but he's got a lower bounty than me. That is so funny. Good times, good times. Oopsies. Oh, thank you, Flo. I would love to check out my new Zoro rap. Been so gassed from the new chapters. But Zoro wasn't even in there. I do want him to be in the chapters, though. Okay, so here we said, this is the SBS segment, huh? Don't tear the page. That's pretty cool. Luffy tearing the page up there. Looks cool. We all know that the naming pattern of the Navy admirals is a color plus an animal in Japanese. I'm imagining that there must be some kind of deliberating body within the Navy that determines the admiral names. Could the man in charge of this body actually be the legendary Admiral Namingheim? Namingheim. I mean, it has to be. Yes, how did you know? There are other Navy members who have nicknames like that. Not just the admirals, but they were all named by him. Vice Admiral Namingheim. Oh my god. I'm gonna name the hell out of ya. Oh, that is so funny. What if Zoro was just walking by the background of God Valley because he got bored and lost while Loki was telling the flashback? That would be hilarious. In Japanese, his name is a pun on Nazuketagari. Want to name someone. Nazuketagari. Namingheim is also pretty funny though. They did a good translation there. Nazuketagari. But Oda is funny. I love that he draws stuff like this. Like, he must be so busy thinking up the next part of the story and how to tell it, drawing it, and then he still makes time to do these SBSs when he can. It's amazing. Chapter 943. I'm stunned. Is that Ezel, the 16th Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, formerly one of the Akazaya 9? Whoa. Was Kozuki Oden the former 16th Division commander? Whoa, that's a very small detail you have picked up on. That is the flashback scene where a young Kinemon and the cohorts get captured. There certainly are 9 of them present, but what should be Okiku looks a bit different. Ezel, by the way, is one of the Whitebeard Division captains who showed up in the Paramount War. He wears traditional Japanese clothing and does resemble the character as well. There's that note in volume 82, chapter 820, that a number of Wano people were on Whitebeard's ship. All of this will be made clear in time, so just sit back and read. You will figure it out. Wow, people can really pick up on the best details. But I think it's, when you've been reading this for 10 or more years, you go back, you read and you reread, and like for me, I'm catching up. Even after 8 years of doing this, I haven't seen some of the best anime out there. So I feel like I'm always catching up, and I can never really find the time to read and reread and rewatch the way that I would like to. But other people are just really good at noticing details. So okay. Chapter 946's SBS. Is it just a coincidence that Kinemon's wife is named Otsuru, and there is also Otsuru in the Navy? They're the same, aren't they? But here's the thing. Does everyone remember a shoujo manga by the title of Nana? Me. I love Nana. As a matter of fact, the 2 main characters are both named Nana. It's redundant, but the series is super popular and famous. So, it's okay, right? And if they should meet one day, they're going to say, guess what, Tsuru? My name is Tsuru too. So basically, he's just saying people have the same name sometimes. That doesn't mean they're related. And for me, I also have to remember, people have the same hair color sometimes. Doesn't mean they're related. Smoker and Zoro. Show us Usopp at age 40 and 60. This one. Luffy, he's my underling. Oh, Zoro, he's my underling. You know who this one looks like? He kind of looks like the guy from Aladdin that takes Aladdin to the dune. You know that guy? Oda's writing also rewards readers who look into the details. That makes it fun. Yeah, it makes you more excited to look for Panda Man and other details in the story. Who's this? Oh, Kami. Is that a flashback? I've always been free, and now this place is mine. Luffy! Okay, let's make this the last one for today. No, second to last one. We'll do 2 more. Oda Sensei, I want to be a person who helps others, so I'd like to work as a bathhouse assistant, but since I only have 2 arms, I can only help the woman. There you are, Sanada the pervert. Sanadachi, you can't work here. The only future I can envision is you getting arrested. Unfortunately, to explain the full history of bathhouse assistants, known as Sansuke, would take too much time. So if you're curious, look them up for yourself. The short story is that it's a fact that in the Edo period there were male employees at mixed-use bathhouses who helped to wash the customers' bodies, but they would never hire a pervo like Sanada, so don't even think about it. That seems like a fun job. I mean, a lot of people would have someone, usually they would go with someone and they would wash each other's back. But people who are like, they don't have any friends to come help them wash their back, those are the ones whose back you're going to be washing. I just saw Sanada and he said he wanted to see more scenes at the mixed bath. Sanada, you jerk! Sanada just said he wants Komurasaki to step on him. Sanada, stop ruining the sanctity of the SBS. The tree of Shutenmaru's head is from a Rakugo routine called Atamayama, right? Atamayama. Atama is your head, Yama is mountain. So where does the tree grow out of your body, Oda Sensei? That's right. There's a story in Rakugo called Atamayama, meaning head mountain. It's a strange and surreal story where a little cherry blossom tree grows out of a man's head, and then everyone goes up onto his head to watch the blossoms fall. This is a story about dandruff. It's just symbolic to make people feel better about the condition. Now you asked where the tree grows out from my body. Obviously my crotch. Come and watch the flowers bloom. Huh? I hear police sirens. Oh, that's too funny. I hear police sirens. Okay. Introducing Kawamatsu, the kappa. Kappa, pop, 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 pop. Okay. Wait, there's no SBS here. Last one for today. We're about a quarter through? Almost a third through. Mr. Oda, I have a question. The skirt on the girl who collapsed against the Bello Betty on page 67. It sure looks a lot like the skirt of the milkmaid Moda from when she appears in Ace's Great Search for Blackbeard. Cover story. Starting in chapter 278. I need to read this cover story, please. Yes, that is correct. Good catch. At the time, Lelouchia was still a peaceful kingdom, but King Seki has been a terrible ruler, and the people are miserable now. Hopefully the courage the revolutionaries brought to them will help Moda to keep going. I have a question about the reader request chapter covers. In volume 56, it said, covers with an animal and 1 Straw Hat member at a time, but now you're taking requests that don't have animals or straw hats in them, right? What are the actual requirements to get your idea picked? I've never actually put out an official set of rules. If I'm remembering correctly, thank you for your many reader requests. The basic format is just animal plus character doing something, and I like having lots of them. Involve the straw hats. At first I thought I want to get as many people requests as possible, so I only drew 1 for each individual. But some people are so good at making requests that tickle my fancy, and I got tired of worrying. I can't draw this person request for a second time, even though I really like this prompt. So I decided I'll just draw the ones I like, no matter what. If you can capture my interest through the animal choice and character, I will happily draw your request. Drawing is my hobby. After all, I want to. Wait. Drawing is my hobby after all. If I want to draw it, I'll even use it for a 2-page color spread. So put animals in those too. After 22 years of doing this, I have drawn just about everything. So the newer and fresher the request, the more fun it is for me. Wow. Gang Bitchy, Oh My Family, Volume 2. I want to see my twin sister Lola. Cute. So yeah, I will try and prioritize when possible reading more SPSs like today. And then once I catch up with all the most important ones, I'll try and do like literally all the covers. I have the volumes, so I could look them up like that. But then once I've seen all the covers, including the cover stories, I'd like to read the SPSs that I haven't read. So, meaning even the unimportant ones. I'm starting at Wano now because apparently there were some really important SPSs. But I want to read everything eventually. And then after that, I want to start coloring some of the pages. Like the cover stories. Like I'll take a photocopy or try and redraw it or trace it or whatever. I just want to color it in and get creative. But I tried doing that once or twice. But a lot of them are surprisingly detailed. And then, it's difficult. What animal and a One Piece character combo would you suggest? I've never seen capybara, I think. And somehow Chopper and mini capybara sound funny. Chopper, Usopp, and the mini capybara, but what would they be doing? What do capybaras do? Maybe are capybaras the one that jump off mountains? Maybe they can do skydiving. No. Paragliding. Yoga? Wait, what are the ones? Animal that jumps off cliffs. Oh, it's lemmings. A lemming is a small rodent, usually found in or near the Arctic, in tundra biomes. Lemmings. There is one myth that has held on tenaciously. Every few years, herds of lemmings commit mass suicide by jumping off seaside cliffs. That's so sad. But it would be cool to see lemmings and the Chopper and the Usopp. Maybe they can do skydiving. I don't know. Robin can't hold her happy tears in the village of poorly drawn dragons. Oh, you mean not Momonosuke. I remember that the pink dragon, what was he called? You mean like him? That would be pretty funny. I always love to see Nami and cats. What about Nami and various type of cats I'm talking lions and house cats and what about Nami and various kinds of cats? Counting her stacks of money. And Sanji brings them snacks while Sanji feeds them all fish. Sushi! That sounds fun. Okay, let me finish the video here and then I'm just gonna play like 1 or 2 games of Fall Guys. And then I'll say good night. But yeah, let me just finish up. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the chapter and any questions for next time. And I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. So live on the 21st of December for chapter 1169.